Sonic games, hatred, two things that overlap in my Venn diagram. The Sonic series is one that's pretty experimental, and because of that, I was inspired to get experimental myself. I became a lawyer.
Zach, your defendant is being accused of manslaughter.
He did what? This experimentation leads to a lot of inconsistent quality within the franchise. The varying quality of certain games and heavily opinionated fan base leads to some pretty strong feelings towards these games in the community. I should not be out of that a breath. There are some games that are pretty unanimously agreed upon to be bad, with irredeemable flaws such as Rise of Lyric and 06. No amount of P06 revisionist history will prove that base 06 is not a horrible game. Man, if Bin Laden was a part of the Sonic franchise, you'd see people in 20 years going, he actually wasn't that bad. But then there's some more mixed games, and I'm not talking melanin. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm talking about games like Frontiers, Heroes, Forces, Lost World, games like these. Now, I'm here today to talk about some of these games that I feel are overhated to an extent. Let it be known that this is going to be a slightly more opinionated video, as there's some mixed games that I like and some that I dislike, meaning I'm going to strictly be talking about the ones that I personally like. I'm going to try and include as little bias as possible throughout this video as I try to understand both sides. I'll make this quick. Like, comment, subscribe, you get it. Join the Discord in the description. And hey, this is actually important. I've got a Patreon now for as little as $2.50 a month. Also linked in the description. Anyways, I'm going to start off with Sonic Lost World. This is a really interesting case because I think that Lost World is a game that's really hard to defend. The thing with Lost World is that I feel like a lot of its ideas and a lot of its design are really up to the player on whether they think it's good or not. There is no such thing as an objectively good or bad game, despite what Sonic Twitter might want to tell you. But being honest, this might be a purely subjective game. Now, I know that sounds stupid, every game is subjective, but hear me out. I've noticed that arguments made for or against this game's favor always seem to be about the same thing. The same things that people like are the same things people dislike. Parkour, for example, I personally like. I like what you can do with it, and for the most part, I feel like it can be utilized really well. However, it's something that you won't catch me defending with my life, because in all honesty, the people who dislike it have legitimately good reasons to. They believe it's poorly tutorialized, they think it feels stiff, they think it feels wrong, doesn't belong, isn't fully utilized, and honestly, like, yeah, I mean, I get it. These are all valid and reasonable complaints, and while some of them don't personally affect me and how I see the parkour system, it's nothing I can argue with because, I mean, they are right to an extent. Again, extremely opinionated, and I think that's led to discussion of this game being a nightmare online. You get people proclaiming it's one of the worst games ever, the controls are horrible, the story is... Okay, well, the story is bad. But it's like, well, I personally don't think the controls are horrible, and this game, despite everything, is really polished. You get people saying that this game is horrible, and I feel like that's a pretty ignorant thing to say. On the other hand, you get people who, out of spite, spew the opposite bile. This game is actually the best Sonic game with the best controls ever, and whoever disagrees just has a skill issue. Skill issue, my favorite term for people who don't truly have an actual argument. But yes, obviously, I feel like this is also wildly ignorant. I know this is just an overly long way of saying this game is very subjective, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. Is it really productive to argue about this game? People never seem to realize that the things they find bad about the game can be things other people find good, and vice versa. Personally, I like Lost World, but, like I keep saying over and over, things that I find to be a pro with the game are cons for others. Next up, Sonic CD. Oh boy, where to start. Sonic CD hate, I think for the most part, comes with an inherent misunderstanding of what the game is trying to be and the more open-ended nature of the game's central gameplay style. You see, I think Sonic CD was dealt a bad hand because coming off of Sonic 1, it was a decent evolution of the formula. It made sense. Sonic CD wasn't the only game on store shelves though, as alongside Sonic CD's development, Sonic 2 ended up being developed at the same time by a different team. So, once Sonic 2 released, that game ended up being way more popular and a way more safe, for lack of a better term, sequel. And it's a great game, by the way. I love Sonic 2. However, because of this, subsequent games would end up sort of following Sonic 2's design philosophies, and because of this, the gameplay formula of Sonic would slowly stray further and further away from what Sonic CD was. The way Sonic 2 does a level and the way Sonic CD does a level are way different, like completely different. Sonic 2 is all about going fast, maintaining a good flow, and for the most part, not stop running. For the most part, the game likes to keep the action going, meaning if you run into an obstacle, hit a spike, or lose all your speed, stuff like that, you're encouraged to get right back up and keep going with a spin dash or whatever. They allow you to brute force your way through obstacles, for lack of a better term. Sonic CD isn't like this at all, and it's actually a direct contradiction to how 2 does it. In CD, you're actively punished for brute forcing. I think the most evident example of this is in Collision Chaos, where I imagine most people get frustrated as they try to keep going forward, but these damn bumpers and springs keep sending them back. And it can get frustrating. And I bring this up as the idea of brute forcing your way through obstacles, getting right back up, and continuing after a hit. That is the design philosophy that the series would adopt through the rest of the games. So when people come back to CD, it messes everything up. People count it as a fault of the game, not realizing that this is completely intended and you're just playing poorly. But again, it's hard to fault people for thinking like this. It's another Sonic game. Obviously it would play like a Sonic game, but it really doesn't. Sonic 2, 3, Mania, etc. all have a huge emphasis on flow. I don't think I need to explain what flow is, as I talk about it all the time. CD has flow, but the way it does it is way different. Sonic CD is actually kind of more go with the flow. What does this mean? Short explanation, don't brute force. Sometimes taking it a little bit slower will actually result in a faster time than you usually would have gotten if you decided to brute force it, and to some people, what? Going slower in a Sonic game? I get it, it sounds stupid on paper, contradictory to the whole idea of Sonic, but really, it is so much more than that. By quote, taking it slow, and by the way, when I say taking it slow, I don't truly mean beating the stage really slow. You still go fast. I'm just slower than you would normally in Sonic 2, I guess. You can end up beating the stage faster. This means not holding forward the entire time. The stage and Sonic in this game are heavily interlinked. To know how to play a Sonic CD, you need to know the stages, how they operate, how they feel. This is the Sonic game where your knowledge of the stage aids you in the most, I believe. You need to work with these stages, not against them. And Sonic 2, I like to clarify, by the way, I love Sonic 2. I really love Sonic 2. It's just a good example. The stages are mostly an obstacle, something you're trying to get around. In CD, it may seem like an obstacle on the surface, but it's really just trying to help you. It's up to you to take advantage of the stage and accept its help. It's just up to you to utilize what they give you. So suddenly now, a level like Collision Chaos goes from an infuriating, pace-breaking bumper level to this wonderful level where all of these pieces fall into place and suddenly these bumpers and springs are assisting you. Funny enough, and I thought about this as I was writing the script, I actually think this ties into the game thematically. When you understand the stages, understand that they are trying to help you, in turn you're likely to help it. By having the stage help you and by taking advantage of that, you will easily find the robot generators in each level, as the way to get them is often obtained by simply playing the level well. And by the way, you are actively rewarded for helping the stage. Getting the robot generators, getting a good future, all of that rewards you with a peaceful and more beautiful variant of the stage. It's a whole cycle where the player and the stage are constantly in sync, helping one another. The stage naturally helps you, and once you notice that and help it by playing the stage well and getting all the robot generators, it helps you once more by rewarding you with a good future variant. I love Sonic CD so much, dude. I get that a lot of people don't care for this game, and that's fine. It is different from other Sonic games. I really do get it. However, to completely disregard this game and hate on it without having a fundamental understanding of what it is just blatantly ignorant. If you get what it's trying to be and don't like it, that's fine too. You don't have to like this game regardless of your understanding. If you like the game, cool. If you don't, cool. Just don't be a dighead, man. By the way, yeah, this video was an excuse to talk about CD. On a completely different note, Sonic 4 Episode 2, yeah, we're going there. Sonic 4 had happened, it was bad, nothing we can do about it now. But I'm not gonna lie with you, while Sonic 4 Episode 2 carries over the While Sonic 4 Episode 2 carries over some of the fundamental flaws that Episode 1 had, I think this is a large improvement in just about every way. Now, this game isn't going to be winning any awards or anything like that. It does not stack up to the classics, but I do genuinely think it's good. First of all, I absolutely adore the visuals of this game, I really do. Oh yes, it can look pretty cheap at parts, and some levels are just amalgamations of past Sonic levels. For the most part, I think they look really good. Sylvania Castle Zone is a stage that I have always adored the aesthetics of. I think it is a lovely stage. White Park has its ups and downs, but when it looks good, it looks good. Oil Desert looks fine, but that's about it. It's fine, but I think a stage called Oil Desert was bound to look buttfuck ugly, but I can't imagine it was entirely on purpose. Probably the budget peeking through on that one. Sky Fortress actually looks really good, if not a bit bland sometimes, and Death Egg Mark II looks good, but a little cheap. All in all, when it comes to the visuals, I am decently impressed, but visuals can only carry a game so far. So what does that make Sonic Frontiers? So what about the gameplay? Well, imagine a decently competent classic Sonic game, one that isn't perfect by any means, but one that you can get through and say, yeah, I enjoyed my time, that was a fun game. I had fun with it. And again, the whole Sonic 4 lineage was tainted from the start, with it being called Sonic 4 for marketing purposes instead of the original name, which was something like Sonic Mobile or something, I can't remember off the top of my head. Sonic 4 Episode 2, as a mobile game, is pretty good. And, as a regular game, it's also good, man, I don't know. Again, not perfect, but I think people shit on it because of it being guilty by association with the Sonic 4 name. It's kind of like the new Super Mario Bros. U of Sonic. It's a Sonic game to me, one that doesn't innovate much or do anything crazy, but I can play through it and have fun. You guys are mean to Sonic Spinball. Come on, man, I can't lie, this game is so fun. Like, yeah, it's hard, it's stupid, the physics are jank, maybe I don't like this game, but the thing is, I really did have fun with it. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I like the soundtrack of this game. It was just tainted because of the Tesla coils going off in the options menu. It's good, damn it! Sonic Spinball, yep, that's a typo, alright. Sonic Spinball is such a good, unique spin-off idea, and I genuinely wish they did a sequel. This is like the perfect way of doing a Sonic pinball game. If they cleaned this up, made it a little easier, I think this game would be really damn good. As is... yeah, I mean, it's alright, like, it's not the greatest, but again, you people hate it too much, this game is just really fun, I'm sorry. And finally, Shadow 05. While I don't think the story is as bad as people claim it to be, it is pretty objectively, and I hate using that word because... you know. But it is pretty objectively trying to be too edgy. The overconvolution, I don't know if that's a word, I think I meant overcomplication, you get what I mean though, of the story with all the branching paths and whatnot, made the story worse in hindsight. But when it comes to the actual gameplay, I don't know, man, I kind of like it. Aside from the weird quick acceleration he has, which can make precise platforming a nightmare sometimes, I think Shadow's controls are really nice and the level designs for the most part are really solid. I thought the gunplay was a nice treat as well. It's obviously not the most fleshed out thing in the world, but it was good fun to be honest. These level designs, again, for the most part, are really good, both how it's intended, that being shooting everything in sight and then going forward, and also by speedrunning, skipping over everything. While this game isn't perfect, I feel like with a few small tweaks, like making Shadow less slippery and fixing his acceleration, this game wouldn't just be good, I actually think it'd be pretty great. But I'm talking about the game as is, none of this potential talk we see a lot in the community. Again though, like I said before, this game is pretty good. While things like the story are too overcomplicated for their own good, I think what we're left with is a pretty solid title, all things considered. Alright, let's see, what other overhated Sonic games do we like? Frontiers? No, I don't like that one. Heroes? No, I don't like that one either. 06? Nope. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I hope you all enjoyed. I apologize for my horrible inconsistency recently, but I'm locking in for my final quarter of school. Guess what? I'm gonna be a high school graduate in 2 months. Yeah! Once I graduate, though, I am going to lock the fuck in. I'm talking weekly uploads or putting my head in a noose, I swear. If you made it to the end, I don't have to tell you the spiel. I've got a Patreon. Give me money, please. The Switch 2's coming out, and yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of moolah. Oh yeah, and there's the Discord too. Please join. This is a dead server. I'm losing members by the minute. Dude, everyone in there is there for VR, and I switched over to Sonic. I need to repopulate like it's fucking Japan right now. Anyways, I'll see you next time, guys. I'll next see. Fuck off. Whatever. Bye. Peace.